10 years ago, I began my semen retention journey. It has been one of the most profound, life-changing practices I have ever done in my life. I would not be who I am today. I would not be where I am today if it was not for semen retention. It's helped me create a life I didn't think was possible. It's helped me to overcome a lot of my negative patterns, my vices, my addictions, my self-destructive habits, and to step into a life of abundance, of creativity, of healing, of passion, inspiration, and surpassing anything I could have imagined possible for myself 10 years ago when I began. And I want to share with you guys some of my insights I've learned on this journey so that hopefully you guys don't get stuck and make some of the mistakes that I made. It's very common for men to start semen retention for the wrong reasons, and they get stuck on the journey, they get frustrated, and they give up. And the most common pattern is for men to get stuck in this cycle of obsessively going for long periods of time just by pure willpower, and then having one ejaculation and then ejaculating 6 times in a row, 12 times in a row. So this kind of getting stuck in extremes. And what I've found is that semen retention is all about balance. I'm Jonathan White. I'm here to help you master your sexual energy so you can manifest your ideal life. If you want to learn more about sexual and self-mastery, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you get my free ejaculation control course through the link in the video description below. 10 years ago, September 2013, I began my semen retention journey. I had just discovered a book by Montauk Chia called The Multi-Orgasmic Man. And this book planted the seed in me that men can have orgasms without ejaculating, and that there's no reason for a man to be ejaculating frequently. And to do so is an expenditure, a waste of life force. And to be honest, my main goal in the beginning wasn't to do semen retention. I just wanted to learn to have non-ejaculatory orgasms. But by doing so, it completely rewired my whole experience of sex and sexual pleasure and orgasm to where I realized that ejaculation was actually just a letdown and it wasn't worth it. Kind of like eating a whole chocolate cake to feel good for 5 seconds. Then you feel like shit the rest of the day. And it became natural for me to stop ejaculating frequently, to go longer and longer periods of time without ejaculating. Now, when I say it's been 10 years that I've been practicing semen retention, I'm definitely not saying that I've gone 10 years without ejaculating. That would not be true. In my philosophy of semen retention, it's not about trying to go forever without ejaculating. There's a lot of ego in the world of semen retention. There's a lot of men in this who are wounded and are just trying to please people around them. And it becomes this way to like show people how they're better than them. Oh yeah, well I went 500 days, bro. I went 5 years. You know, I had this conversation with someone early on in my journey and he said that he had not ejaculated in 10 years. And I was like, wow. I was young and naive. And I was like, wow, dude, how did you do it? And I'm asking these questions. And pretty soon I discovered that he's been doing the $1 million point technique. He's been having retrograde ejaculations. He's been ejaculating every single day. And now he's saying he's gone 10 years without. I'm like, it really made me realize how men start to like cling to this idea of like this accomplishment and because I did this, I'm better than you. Basically getting the ego involved in all this. And when you're practicing semen retention out of your ego, even if you go years or whatever without ejaculating, you're not going to be happy because it's this constant battle of trying to one up everyone around you. This is basically a pattern of being a people pleaser. That's the first most important thing is if you're going to practice semen retention, you have to have a good reason for doing it. I would not have lasted 10 years if my only goal was to have a number that I could tell people about. I started practicing semen retention because it gave me more energy. It made me feel more masculine, more confident. It helped me overcome anxiety, depression, laziness. It helped me stop taking drugs, stop drinking alcohol, stop smoking weed every day, and to feel good like I did when I was a little kid without having to take substances, which is how it should be. And that's one reason why you'll never hear me boasting about how long I've gone on a current semen retention streak, because I think it's fucking stupid. It doesn't matter. I'm always saying that semen retention is only one piece of the lifestyle puzzle. It's one thing. If I was just doing semen retention, if I wasn't doing Qigong, if I wasn't doing daily meditation, weightlifting, eating healthy, exercising my mind, my body, staying away from excessive social media consumption, if I was just doing semen retention, I probably wouldn't feel as good. So it's not a fix-all. It's not a magical cure-all. It's not going to give you superpowers. It's simply going to make you feel how you should feel as a human being. Because everyone's functioning depletion, it feels like you're becoming superhuman. And when you expect like certain things should be happening at certain times, it starts to make you feel like you're doing something wrong. There's something wrong with me because I'm not experiencing godlike powers at day 90. Women aren't just flocking to the streets at me as some people would have you believe. You know, unfortunately that doesn't happen either, right? But understand that this practice is benefiting you. And you may not see benefits in the same ways as other people, but you know that you're no longer living a life of depletion. And we start addressing the other aspects of your lifestyle, your health, getting your mind together, getting your productivity in order, exercising, cultivating your energy, your chi, doing meditation. Now everything's going to come together. You're going to feel much better. and get much more benefits from this practice. Another thing I've learned from my journey of semen retention is that youthful vitality, sexual vitality, and hormone levels can be restored at older ages. Now I'm 34 years old, but I know a lot of other men my age who have low libido, who have poor hormone levels, who have low energy levels, who look like they're 20 years older than me. In my early 20s, I experienced significant depletion. I had over ejaculated, I hadn't eaten healthy, I was drinking alcohol, smoking weed. I was very mentally and physically unhealthy. And my libido was suffering. I remember one day I was 20 years old coming home from work and I just, drank a beer and my girlfriend at the time came over and I couldn't get it up. I was like, what the fuck is going on? My vitality in my early 20s was suffering because I had not taken care of myself. By practicing semen retention, I have healthier libido, healthier testosterone levels than I did at that age. This is definitely a potential fountain of youth as far as restoring and keeping potent sexual vitality and healthy hormone levels even into old age. And I'll keep you guys updated as I keep aging. Another thing I've learned on my semen retention journey is that people love to jump on this as a trend and boost their ego. Talking a bit again about how semen retention does have this huge ego boosting effect. And it can be good for some people because it builds your confidence. You feel stronger in who you are. But for a lot of people, it becomes very exaggerated and becomes this overinflated ego, because semen retention has become more of a trending keyword. I started my channel back in 2017. There was like a few people talking about this. There was not the following and the interest around this then that there is now. And it's become a big buzzword, but there's semen retention gurus that pop up and then disappear every week, every month, whatever. And for a lot of people, it's just a trend. It's just a fad. It's something they're into for the time being because everyone else is into it, which comes back to my point on if you have a really good reason for practicing semen retention, you will be able to sustain this for your life. I'm in a relationship, having sex regularly, and I'm practicing semen retention. And again, if I had started this practice because I wanted to impress other people, because I wanted to be the guru on semen retention or something like that, I would have failed. I wouldn't be here right now talking about this. But because it was ingrained strongly in my virtue, in my daily life, my daily practice revolves around having this buildup of sexual energy. I practice Taoist internal alchemy. You need a lot of Jing to cook in the lower Dantian to turn into spiritual energy for that practice. And I could say that my semen retention revolves around my practice, which is that of energetic cultivation, Qigong. It's about enhancing my energy levels. It's about having more juice in my system, more creative power and potential, more energy to put out into things that I'm already doing. And that's a very important part, which brings me to my next point. There's a lot of bad advice on semen retention out there from some of the no-fap approaches of urges are wrong, touching your penis is wrong, sexual pleasure, if it's by yourself, is wrong. You have to just suppress the sexual urges. You have to just force your way through it. Every day's a battle. When you make your own body the enemy, when you make sexual pleasure the enemy, you are destined to fail or be mentally fucked up for the rest of your life. We need sexual pleasure. We need orgasm. We need to love our bodies and experience pleasure. There's nothing wrong with that. It's when that's related to excessive ejaculation, when ejaculation is the outcome of that, yeah, that's a problem. So when you separate the attachment to ejaculation, you learn to have non-ejaculatory orgasms. That's how we do it in sexual kung fu, baby. Then you have all the sexual pleasure you want. There's no suppression. There's no repression of your sexual nature. It's a redirection. It's a harmonizing it with your spirit, your spiritual energy, rewiring the sexual center to your higher centers, to the other energy centers of the body, which is meant to do, to enhance those functions, enhance your heart's energy field of love, connection, respect for your fellow humans, a virtuousness. It amplifies your crown, your ability to connect with celestial energies, your ability to tap into your psychic faculties, your intuition, your understanding of universal consciousness, the spiritual path. And if the only exercise people are recommending you to do when you're practicing semen retention is do some push-ups, go to the gym, work out, that'll do everything for you. No, bro, you need some open energy channels to hold all the sexual energy you're building, or you're gonna turn into an angry, frustrated, horny maniac. If someone doesn't know the energetics of what's happening when you're practicing semen retention and how you can amplify negative aspects of your emotions, negative aspects of your psyche, that energy can get glued to different parts of your body, amplifying patterns of imbalances, then they should probably not be teaching about semen retention, because you have to know the power of the energy you're working with. You have to know that this is like firepower. It can create and it can destroy. And you have to know what you're working with, or you're gonna get fucked up and you're gonna hurt other people. So it's important that someone understands the full capacity of what it means to cultivate sexual energy, not just hoarding sexual energy, like, okay, I need to hold this all in because I need more and I want more and I need bitches, money, and cars. No, you have to understand how to move this energy, how to circulate it, how to let it flow through your body, flow through your life, flow into everything that you're doing. It's not about holding onto or stopping anything. It's not about stopping ejaculation. It's about redirecting the flow of your sexual energy, your life force, into recycling internally within your body, resonating through everything that you are putting your attention into intentionally to create a life of purpose, of passion, and massive growth, and benefit the world in the process. Everybody wins. Which brings me to the next point, in that practicing Qigong, energy cultivation, and especially the microcosmic orbit practice is essential, because like I said, you need to have some wide open energy channels to hold this massive charge you're going to be building up. You don't want to just keep it in its raw form of just this horny, lustful energy. You want to be able to move it through the different cauldrons of the body. It's an alchemical term for the dantians, these energetic spaces where you bring the energy to, and it's refined and transformed into qi, into this pure life force that can move through your body. You can move into creativity, into art, turn it into shen, this pure consciousness, this spiritual energy that makes you see, oh, it's not just about bitches, money, and cars. There's a bit more to life. We are infinite beings. We came into these bodies to learn, to experience, to create. I don't think we just came here to make money and fuck. And I know there's nothing wrong with doing that, but what the point here is that there's so much more. We're here to evolve the species. We're here to evolve our cosmos. You've got to work with this energy. You've got to refine it. It's easy to practice semen retention when you're transmuting that energy, when you're putting it into things, when you're creating this upward flow of it in your body. It wants to stay in your body. Even during sex, when things are getting hot and heavy, baby, you're going to pound town. This energy wants to stay in your body. It wants to resonate through your channel, through your partner's channels, blasting through this full body orgasm experience. That's better than any psychedelic drug, I can tell you that. You have to have increased energetic output in your life. You have to have more things to put your energy into. If you just increase your energy input, what you're doing with retention, and you don't increase your output, you're going to have stagnance. You're going to blow a fuse. You're going to feel really stuck and irritable. So when you enhance your energetic output, meaning you have projects you're putting your energy into, it means you start to live a life of purpose. You can't just sit at home watching Netflix all day. You can't be working at some bullshit 9-to-5 job that you hate just to pay bills so you can go get drunk on the weekends. No, you need to have purpose and passion in your life. You need to create art. You need to create an exchange with the world, something that you do for others that creates value. You've got to have a mission that you're on. You got to keep yourself busy, exercise your body, exercise your mind. This energy has to move. This is big energy. And if you're not moving it, it's going to make you go crazy. And then a final point I want to share here is that you're probably going to ejaculate again at some point. You may be like the guy who claims you're going 3 years at a time, but meanwhile you're having wet dreams. Or, oh, I ejaculated. Yeah, I went into my bladder and I reabsorbed it, even though I urinated it all out. Makes perfect sense. You're probably going to ejaculate again at some point. You don't lose everything you built up. People often ask me, do I lose everything one ejaculation? No, it doesn't work like that. Yeah, it'll take a few days to recover. That's fine, but enjoy it. If you ejaculate, fucking enjoy it if it happens, you know? And don't beat yourself up about it. Again, it's not about never ejaculating. It's about recycling and using this energy for something more meaningful than just sending it into a crusty sock. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's any aspects of semen retention that you're struggling with or you'd like to learn more about, let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe to my channel and take care, my brothers.